So welcome to round 6 of the Last Cast Saloon League. This is more like it for the weather. This is what we expect for match fishing. So we're fishing 7:30 till 11. We're only 5 minutes in and I've already seen a hound caught. The line must have only been in the water seconds before it took that. So we're down here at Solent and the target is smooth hounds. The weather's a little bit more windy than I'd have liked, but it's a lot better than it being calm. They do need a bit of movement in the water. So all match fishing is about choices and making the right decision about what tactic to use. So tonight I'm just going for hounds. So I've got 2 hook Pompey loop rig and I'm using crab and prawn. Last year prawn worked better for me than crab. So we'll find out tonight because I've got prawn on one hook, crab on the other. So this is a longer clip than I normally show, but I wanted you to see JJ's first cast in real time. So he gets a bite and he strikes into it after just 1 minute and 20 seconds of casting out. And then within 3 minutes of the start of the match, he's already got a fish on the beach. So it's not going to get dark till about 9:30, so more than half the match is going to be in daylight. But in this weather, that doesn't matter too much because the water's got plenty of colour in it. Those waves are churning up the bottom. So hopefully the lack of darkness won't affect us too much. The thing with gambling on hounds is they do run in packs. So if they're here, you can catch quite a few. But if they're not here, they're just not here. So that's pretty much it for the menu tonight. Crab and prawn. I'm just going to gamble and focus on the hounds. If the hounds aren't here, I'm probably in trouble. And for my first cast, what do I have? A whelk. So when I'm using frozen baits, I've got this cool bag, and I keep all my bait in there with a freezer block, all locked down. I hate wasting bait. I only take out enough bait for about an hour, and if you're having problems with it because it's still frozen, you're trying to cut it up or whatever, just throw it into your bucket of water for a minute, 2 minutes at most, and that should defrost it enough for you to be able to cut up your bait. So an hour in, and unfortunately it's becoming a sorry tale again. I've not had any bites at all. First cast I got snagged and lost all my gear. The only difference tonight is JJ comes and picks up for me. He's had 3, so they're definitely out there, but I've not seen anybody else catch any. So I wonder what magic bait he's got on. So there's my 2-hook Pompey loop rig with size 1 Chinook hooks, crab on the top, same hook on the bottom, but this time with prawn. So we're 2 hours in, it's 9:30. It's not quite dark yet, as you can see behind me, but it's starting to get there. Even quieter in the second hour. JJ had 3 in the first hour, but he's not had anything since. And then off to my right, there's been 1 hound, and someone else just got 1 little dogfish. And that's it. I don't want to keep just doing the same thing, so I walked up to JJ, see what he's doing different. He's got a bigger selection of bait than I have. He's got spider crabs, he's got ragworm, but he's caught his fish on a mixture. So he's had 1 on the spider crab, 1 on the ragworm, 1 on peeler crab. It doesn't seem to matter what he was using. The only thing he said that was different, and I've not seen it before, is that he's getting little tiny bites, little finicky bites, and he's striking them. And I've not seen. He said he's seen it before, but I've not seen hounds behave like that before. Normally, you might see 1 or 2 bumps on the rod, and then it just sort of bends right over as the fish runs. But he's getting these little finicky bites. He's striking those, and even then he's not sure there's a fish on, and he starts reeling in, and he's about halfway in before the fish starts to run. And I've just not seen them behave like that, so yeah, don't know. I mean, this wind and with this rod, I'm not going to see little finicky bites. So what all I've done, because it's anything I can think to do, is I've upped the size of my baits. I've also put some squid on as well. Yeah, let's try and mix it up, try a bigger bait, get a bigger central. Just try something different. That's the pub over there. Starting to get tempting. Must be more interesting up there than it is here. So there's the head of a prawn. It's all full of juices. I've not tried it before, but we'll give it a go. So I got one, and that was a strange bite, but let me get this measured and back in the water, and I'll tell you about it in a bit. So as I was saying, that was a bit of a strange one. So I had a slack line. I just looked up and the rod was straight up, the line's completely slack. So I tightened the line down, and there didn't seem to be anything on there. I even moved it a little bit and didn't seem to be anything on there. But I put it back down, tightened it back up a little bit, then sat and thought for a couple of minutes, oh, it's actually, if the bait's gone, maybe I should just bring it in. And just as I was about to get up, there was a couple of little taps. So I picked the rod up, and as I picked the rod up, it started to shoot off, and I hit into it. And that's my first hound of the year, so that was nice. And I got it on that head of a prawn. So this cast, there's another head of prawn going out there. there's the second one for me. I told you they were even packed. So hopefully there's more to come. So that's my second hound of the night, and that one was a bit more of a traditional bite. It was a real slack liner. It was running towards me, reeled in line as fast as I could. There was a little bit of weight there, but it didn't feel like a hound. It wasn't really running, just a little bit of weight, until I got to about 3 waves out, and then I think it realised there was something wrong, and it started to run up and down the beach. So that's 2 in the bag. That's nice. My experiment of comparing crab with prawn has fallen by the wayside, because that one came on the head of a squid, and the one previous to that was on the head of a prawn. So, but I'm catching, and as I said, they're in packs, so you can be catching nothing, and then all of a sudden, bang bang, you get one after the other. So that's my last cast out there now. I might get another one, but 2 fish, I'll take that, considering how the match started. So started at 7:30, and I didn't get a bite till 10 o'clock. And then I had 2 fish between 10 and 10:30. So there's about 15 minutes to go now. And I've put a squid head out and a prawn head on a 2-hook Pompey loop rig. And we'll see how we get on.
Right, so longest fish of the night, guys, goes to
what is it? Smooth hound, I presume?
smooth hound of 112 centimetres to Clint.
Decent one. Who had that?
Clint.
Clint, well done, Clint. Nice fish, mate.
Third place with 289 centimetres, Dave Lawrence.
Well done, Dave.
Second place with 297 centimetres, Pete West.
Hey, Petey boy.
Pete, thank you, mate. Thank you. And first place with 381 goes JJ.
Thank you, guys. That's not very nice, is it?
Anyway, Jay, I want to throw that.
You're not coming last.